I should wait. We can wait. I'll wait as long as you would like. I'll stay with you all through the night. You show me wrong and show me right as rain. I will wait.
Hello and welcome everyone to my 1960s house. So today's video is my apartment tour. You guys asked about it and I finished decorating it. So just a little information before we start going in. This is the door to our apartment. We live in a pretty regular German house. This house is divided into 3 apartments. This house belongs to a very lovely old lady. She's living on the ground floor, and then in the basement there's someone else living, and we have the top floor. Because this house was remodeled and used to be for one family, and then she kind of like took it apart into separate apartments, it's a little different than from what you usually have. So basically we're in front of our apartment, but our bathroom is over there. However, we're just gonna start with the main part of the apartment, so let's go. But our landlady literally has the cutest little 60s decor, flowers everywhere. So when you enter our apartment, this is the first view because you start in the kitchen. I personally feel like it's rather unusual to be starting with the kitchen, but with this apartment leading from the kitchen, we have the bedroom over there and then the living room right behind me. But since the kitchen kind of connects it all, I figured I would start in here. So from what I think and from what the landlady told us, this kitchen is from the late 80s or early 90s. And the thing that I love the most about it is the big window, because it is just so bright and beautiful in here. So this is the backside of our entrance door. I just have like a little board over there where we put notes and everything, calendar. Then up here, this was meant to become a house bar, but then I got pregnant and we never really set it up. So currently it's just like holding random things, car keys and everything in here. And then just some things to make cocktails. We like to do that every now and then, but not now. And then just some hard candy that we got for Christmas and no one really likes. So it's just sitting here because these are actually pretty cute, but I just don't like them. However, this set of like the blue glass is a 1960s set and I just love the dishware. So I just wanted to display it right here. So this kitchen has a ginormous amount of space and storage space. And since I don't really like that kind of like fake wood, I put up this beautiful calendar here. I feel like I've talked about this before. Basically, I have been looking for a dishcloth towel kind of calendar for years, and when I finally found this, I was so happy. So in this box we keep our bread, and then my boyfriend had this microwave that we just set up. Then over here we have some fresh herbs. I love to use them. However, they're kind of not doing the best. Even though they get enough sun and enough water, I don't really know what's going on with them. And then I also just have a little thingy of ginger and some fruit over here. In this box I have a lot of tea that I love, and then just some random knickknacks. These shades were actually already in the apartment and I kind of really like them. They just have a really nice retro-y feeling. Up there we have a coffee grinder, a teapot, and more tea. This is the first apartment I lived in since moving out from home that has a dishwasher, which is incredible. I don't really love this countertop, if I'm being honest. I don't like the color and the texture, but it's fine. And then we just have a regular sink over here. A little cookbook. This is a little carbonation machine that makes sparkling water. And in there I usually have some water just with some stones to give it a good energy. This beautiful little chopping board. This gorgeous tile that I actually use to put hot pots on. Then we just have a pepper grinder. Overall, I think the tiling in here is pretty cute. Like all the little detailing, but I'd say it's rather from the 80s than the 60s and 70s. And then over here we have a little coffee station. I really much love this glass, and then this beautiful hand-painted coffee filter holder, and just a pot to cook the coffee in. So this is the view from the kitchen. So we got the living room over there, bedroom over here, and then over here we just have another cabinet that I hung this beautiful little tapestry on. In there I just keep cleaning supplies and all of that. And then down here we have more fruit. We just eat a lot of fruit and vegetables, and to make room for that I also put some here. I love this fruit basket. This is actually like a beautiful wooden one that has a little design. Let me try to show you this. So this kind of like woodwork was really popular in the 60s. And then this one is just a glass bowl, but I also really love this design with like the golden detailing. This one is from the 60s as well. This might be so random, but it's one thing that I love about this apartment. It was already built in when the landlady showed us the apartment, and it's not like this was the main point that sold us on the apartment or anything, but it was something that we immediately loved. Let me show you this. So this apartment comes with a built-in bread slicing machine. You can also use this for meat and cheese, but we just use it for bread, and I think it is so cool. And like whenever people come over, especially like older people, they're like, oh, we had this at home in the 70s. People apparently were really into bread slicers, and now we have one, and I think it's really cool. I mean, obviously you don't need it, but it's kind of cool to have. I feel like the kitchen is the room that we did the least of remodeling and like decorating with, because it's just a practical room, and other than like with cooking and everything, we don't really spend that much time in here, even though I love how bright and airy this room is. But let's continue with the rooms that I actually decorated, and maybe we'll just start with the living room. This is what it looks like to enter our living room. And I gotta say, the one thing that really sold us on the apartment was the flooring in here, because we have the most beautiful wooden floor. So this actually is real hardwood flooring. We have it in here and then also in the bedroom. And I honestly love it. I think it is so special and beautiful. We would have been never able to afford doing flooring like this ourselves, so I'm really glad that we found this beautiful home. So this is the overview of our living room. Let's just start right behind the door. So this beautiful woodstock poster was given to me by my stepdad. So my stepdad went on a business trip to Canada, and he brought me back this gorgeous poster. And it's actually really sentimental to me, because when he first met my mom and I first got to meet him, we really bonded over our love for Joni Mitchell and like different musicians and Woodstock. So I just love to have this in here. It's definitely been through something, but I just honestly think it is a very sentimental piece, and I just love to have it in my living room. Then over here we have the Beatles prints from the White Album, and this gorgeous little hanging that is supposed to protect you, and my mom brought me this from a trip to India. Next up is this gorgeous vanity, and this has to be one of my favorite furniture pieces that I own. So I'm not entirely sure if I told this story before, but basically I wanted to have a mid-century dresser with a circular mirror on top of it for the longest time, and never found one that was even remotely affordable. And then someone listed this on eBay, but in a part of Germany that is very far from where I used to live at the time, and even further away from where I live now. Basically on the border to France. And I told my dad about it, and I was like, I'm so sad because I really want to have this, but it's so far away. And he was like, why don't we make it a little trip and pick it up? And so we drove there, got it, and I am so happy. Moved with this twice so far, still doing great. It obviously has the very classic bendable mirrors, and then on top here I just decorated it with these 3 little pictures and this one of the doors. Then over here we have some incense and a candle. You will see a pattern in my apartment. I love candles and incense, and we have a lot of them. This little fake plant, a Beatles cards playing set, and just some random knickknacks, some old film. We bought this plant and it was like half the size, but it's been springing and blooming, and I just love that. Like, all of these light leaves are new, so I'm very proud of this plant. Speaking of candles, I'm actually not a big fan of like using the big light in rooms, so I will usually use the little light, and I will have candles everywhere. You will see that. However, before we continue further into the room, let me show you our dining table setup. So this is our dining table. I dearly love it. This used to be my childhood home and my mom gifted it to me. I love this sort of woodwork. It is so beautiful. My mom even bought this pre-used in the 90s, and I just love to have a big wooden table. On here I have this cute little thing with like a candle on top as a little centerpiece. And then honestly, these chairs are so special to me because my great-grandfather made them. My great-grandfather was an upholsterer and I was really close with him because he got really old and I don't really have a lot of relatives. And he made these chairs, which is why they're so special to me, and I will cherish them forever. So chairs like this one were really popular in the 60s and they're so expensive usually. So I'm just so happy that I have these, and this is our little dining nook setup. But let's continue on further into the living room. So this area over here is our little relaxing area where we watch TV, where we just spend most of our evenings. So let me show you around. Maybe we'll start right over here with this beautiful artwork. This is an artwork by Gustav Klimt, who was a very famous painter, and he actually made this in 1907. It's called Water Serpents, in case anyone wants to look it up. And I just think it is very beautiful and timeless. Then over here I hung a little plant. This is supposed to make your air really good. And this little framed tile that I love. I personally love hanging planters, and they were so popular in the 60s and 70s. This isn't really a planter, but I kind of set it up as one and I really love how it turned out. And then over here I have this giant framed print that is actually a poster for an exhibition by Andy Warhol that I really love. So that's also a key piece in here. And then we have our couch. This looks like a piece from the movie Performance, which I absolutely love. So these sort of sofas, couches were extremely popular in the 60s. I love the pattern, and I know that Jimmy Page had a pretty similar one, and as said, a pattern like this or a style like this was also used a lot in the movie Performance from 1970. It's a great movie starring Mick Jagger and Anita Pallenberg. Check that out if that's your style. I actually also bought this off eBay, picked it up, and I'm very happy with it. I feel like eBay has great steals for inexpensive furniture. And then in the front we have one of the pieces that's actually modern in our apartment. It's this little table. I kind of like the look. It's a classic 1960s shaped look, but this table is from IKEA. I'm not a big fan of IKEA, but we needed a table and IKEA was just on hand. And then I also really love this carpet. It's so beautiful. And then on here we have a little centerpiece as well with this crocheted little thing, and then a candle and this aloe vera plant. And it actually sprouts a little baby, which I'm really proud of. We have two of these little footstools, and we just like to use them as an extension for the sofa because you can't really lay your legs up. I actually thrifted them and they were $5 a piece, and I feel like they work so well with the couch because it's a very similar style. Moving on to this side, we have this beautiful lamp. This is one of my biggest treasures. I love it. It's a glass lamp from the 60s. These like funky shaped glass toppers were really popular at the time. Then we have a framed picture of Bob Dylan because he's the coolest. So we don't always have the shawl on the TV, but I just feel like it looks a lot nicer than just having a plain TV standing in your room. I gotta admit that I personally never owned a TV, and even growing up, we didn't really have a TV because my mom, just like me, didn't like the look of a TV in the living room, and I, now that I'm older, just get it so much. However, my boyfriend had this and he was like, I want to bring it because it's better than always watching TV on your laptop, and I get that. So now we have it and I'm okay with it. It doesn't really fit the whole 60s aesthetic, but it's fine. I put this on a little cupboard. This is from the 60s as well. I love the detailing. It's so beautiful. And that kind of glazed wood you will see a lot in our apartment because it just was really popular at the time. And I love how all of our modern technology just hides away in there. Then over here we have another one of these little stools. And then this is the wall on the back. I actually thrifted this such a long time ago and I love it. It's so beautiful, like the carved wood, so I had to hang it. On here we just have some records. These are some of my favorites, but I change them out every now and then. We have the King Supersonic Rocket Ship. We have Fleetwood Mac Rumors, a Donovan record, this is Golden Hour, and the soundtrack of Easy Rider, pretty random. I hung a little scarf underneath it just to kind of match it with the carpet and like the overall style of the room. Over here we have this beautiful hand-painted shot glass, which I like to use as a candle holder. However, the candle just kind of fell through this moment, but usually there's a little candle burning in this one. And then I just have some incense burning over here, a giant crystal, some more incense, a pair of sunglasses, and this beautiful bracelet that I love. I personally love to use jewelry and all sorts of like records as decor because I feel like you don't have to buy a ton of decor. You can just kind of make use of what you already have in your apartment, and it'll also minimize the clutter. However, if I'm being fully honest, I like a cluttered look. I don't like it if the apartment is like too clean. I feel like my first apartment that I ever showed on here, I'm gonna link that apartment tour, that was super cluttered and I'm not really into that much anymore, but I still like things displayed. I just don't like blank walls. Over here we have my favorite pictures of Jim Morrison framed. I love this. Honestly, it's very random on this wall right here, but this is just one of my favorite photo shoots of him. Well, let's move on to this little corner of the room. So I have a lava lamp, a set of tarot cards, another little crocheted cloth, a framed picture. This is actually from the movie Performance. So you kind of see that this is the style that the sofa has too. And then we have this little coffee plant. I don't know if we'll ever be able to harvest coffee, but I just love it. And I'm still looking for pots. If you've seen a recent vlog, I talked about it. I just don't have luck finding pots lately. I actually have 2 of these wooden cabinets and I used to use them as nightstands. However, in this apartment you're gonna see in the bedroom, there wasn't really any space for that, so we're just using it here. And then over here is an old TV that I turned into a lamp, and I really love the look of it. And it's standing on top of a box because right over there is our record setup. A little random piece of decor up here. I love this glass sun catcher. It's not the most sunny day out, so you are not really able to see it, but I just love this piece. These were really popular in the 60s, and there's just something so magical about them. And for some reason, whenever I look through this, I imagine Miss Pamela having this in her apartment or house. I have some fabric flowers up here. And then this is my record player setup. So up here on top we have my record player and then a selection of records. However, I kind of ran out of space here because I just have a kind of big collection. I don't know, I know a lot of people have thousands of records. I'm not there, but I also do have a lot. A little brush to clean the record. And then in this cabinet I just have all of like the electronic stored away and some of my favorite books up here and some more books down there. I love the glass look of this little cabinet. I thrifted this one too and then just drilled a hole out the back. You can definitely see that I sew off a part back there to just make sure that this fit through. We have another speaker over here. These speakers actually used to belong to my uncle in the 70s and then he gave them to my dad and then he handed them down to me. I love the sound that this lamp makes. This is a lamp from the 60s. It just has a classic look. And I love this little corner. It is so cozy. You can just sit down, listen to records, read a book, chill out. Over here we have some more records and a book about the Beatles. This down there is my sewing machine and a little child sewing machine that my mom used to have in her childhood. This chair is really special to me as well because my great-grandfather made this one as well. So my great-grandfather used to work for a company called Knoll International. You have to look that up because they actually made some of the most iconic 1960s furniture. Like this beautiful chair, and I love this so much. It is extremely heavy, but it is so comfortable to sit and I just love to hang out here. This is one of my favorite spots in the entire apartment. And I'm just also very much in love with this teal color. Then on top here is just a little random wall of pictures. We have the Stones up there, Jefferson Airplane down here, and then the Beatles. and this little shelf that my boyfriend got for his clipper collection. However, currently there aren't that many clippers, so I feel like he needs to rebuy some. I feel like we lost some, I don't know, there used to be more. I just decorated it with some other random things. That, and I really like the dark green color. I feel like it works really well with the chair and just makes this entire corner. So right here on this side is my closet. I feel like it's not the most common idea to put your closet into your living room. However, we live on 50 square meters. The two of us, my boyfriend and I, and we're gonna be 3 soon. So I feel like I needed to work with what we have, and I just put this here. This is a giant wardrobe. Built-in wardrobes are not a thing in German apartments. And so now we have this. I love it. It's a piece from the 60s. I'm gonna show you a little more about it now. On top we have this beautiful 60s purse that my step-grandmother gave me. A Ziggy Stardust record. This guitar-lele that I've been trying to play. And just some more random decor. And then as said, this is the wardrobe. This too kind of has that glazed wood look. And just some little keys to lock it. I love this wardrobe. If you ever want to see a wardrobe tour, let me know. And then the final thing in here is our lamp. I actually really like this one. It kind of has a space age look to it, and these sort of lamps were popular in the 60s. It's just like a round glass one. That's our living room. Let's go into the bedroom. So you go out here, welcome back to the kitchen, and then over here, this is our bedroom. So this is the view you have when you enter our bedroom. I feel like this room is probably the one that you dolls know the most, just from me filming in here a lot, and I also showed you how I did like a little makeover in this room and how we set up the nursery. However, this is the bedroom. Let me show you around. So starting behind the door, we have this Make Art Not War poster. I love this one. It's such a great message, such a beautiful print, and I'm really glad that I have this. I have these two things. They're actually to clean carpets, but I personally loved how they looked, so I just hung them up as decor. And then right underneath it is the other one of that little nightstand that I talked about in the living room. In there, I just keep all of my filming supplies and everything, and then on top, I just made this little area with an incense holder, some incense, some ink to draw or just write, candles, some more incense, and just some random little bits and bobs, and then also a Rolling Stones record. This record actually used to be part of my boyfriend's dad's collection, and he gifted it to me for my birthday, like his whole collection, which was really special to me. And then over here, I just have my favorite record of all time, Tommy by The Who. This is so special to me. If you've never listened to it, do it. It'll change your world. A candle, this camera that my great-grandfather used to use, some crystals, and I just love this little shelf. I feel like it's so special and cute. A framed picture of the legendary George Harrison. This is an incredibly old record. It's one of that old thick ones, and I just love the look, so I hung this one as well. And then this is one of my favorite straw hats. I just didn't know where to store it. And there actually was a nail in this wall in that exact same spot, so this was the first thing we ever hung. And then I also have this little container right here to keep all of my treasures. I have actually shown you the nursery before, however some things changed, so I'm quickly just gonna show you what it looks like right now because I'm due in 2 weeks and I'm actually pretty much done with everything, so let me show you what it looks like now. We have the most beautiful little crib. This was from my boyfriend's grandma. All of her kids slept in there, so did my boyfriend and all of his siblings, cousins, and pretty much everyone in the family, so this is so special. I feel like the last time you saw it, it didn't have like the canopy part yet because this piece was actually missing, but my boyfriend's dad kind of built this new one and now we're able to have it like this. I love the fabric. This is all from the 60s when they originally bought it, and it's just such a cute little set. I know that you're not supposed to have a blanket or anything with your baby, so this is just in here for now, and we will definitely take it out to keep the baby safe. But just the fabric, the wood, everything about this little crib is just perfect for me. I couldn't have imagined a more beautiful crib, so I'm so glad that we got this one. You saw me thrift this little mobile, and I just hung it. I love it. It's crocheted, it's handmade, and I just feel like it is very cute here. So this is our nursery. And then I'm just quickly gonna go over this because I showed you this in depth. I'm gonna link the video right here where I did the entire nursery. But basically this is one of my favorite children's books. It's from the 60s, little stuffed animal. This is a very random ukulele I brought back from Bali when I traveled through Indonesia, but I figured it would just look really cute here. Some more books that I love. This giraffe that is actually like a designer thing from the 60s. I thrifted this for €1.50, but they go for like 50 bucks online. This little card, a plant, and just some baby clothes. And then this is the changing table. And then these are the drapes in here. I feel like before continuing the video, I quickly have to talk about the wallpaper in here. So basically the wallpaper in here is this like white imprinted fabric wallpaper, and it took me some time to get used to it. When we first toured this apartment, my boyfriend was like, I like it, but what's up with the wallpaper? And I kind of felt the same. It's just a little dated, but not like in a cool way, I feel like. And it actually took us some time to get used to it. However, now we really love it because it's just a little contrasted, and I feel like when you look at it from further away you can't really notice it, but then as you get close it just has kind of like the same pattern that our couch has, so that worked out fine. And the more that I look at it and the more that I live with it, it has actually really grown on me. Also, if you're wondering, we're renting this place, so we can't really do like a lot of things, especially not with the wallpaper. That's different. The place that I had before, I was allowed to wallpaper and everything. In here, we aren't. Moving on, this is our bed. So these are our sheets. They're from the 60s, and then we just have some little velvet cushions. This beautiful little topper was gifted to me by OwnKoti. I'm gonna link them in the description box below. They have so many beautiful pieces, and I just love the fabric and everything of this. It is so soft. And then if you have a look inside, the other side is orange, which I think is really cool, so you can actually flip this. As said, I'm not gonna go into too much detail right here because I just did a video all about this part of the room last week, but I really love how this area is looking now. I have my guitar. One of my strings ripped, so now I need a new one, but I didn't got around doing that yet. This little tapestry thing. This is another one of these little shelves that I love, and just a Doors poster that I put on top. Another old record. This stitched art. Another poster, and a glass art piece. I actually got quite a few questions about the posters that I have everywhere, like these old tour posters. I'm gonna link my Pinterest down below because they're all from Pinterest and I just printed them out, but I think I have a Pinterest board dedicated to vintage posters, so I'm gonna link that down below. Feel free to take them and print them. I didn't do them. It's not my art. It is someone's art, but usually you don't find a name with it, which I think is very sad. However, you can just get them printed. Over here we have another big window. That's one thing that I love about this apartment. It is so bright. And we have these drapes that were already in here. And then I talked about this before. I recently thrifted this and I don't know how I'm gonna secure it on here, but for now it's just standing there. Stained glass was a big trend in the 1960s, and I love how many pieces I found so far, kind of going into my collection. And then this is what the other side of the room looks like. We have this beautiful carpet that I got. This is a thrifted carpet. Just please make sure to clean these, but you can usually get a great deal on thrifted carpets. If you follow me on Instagram, you know this setup because I pretty much always post my daily outfits from here, but this is the mirror that I also use to get ready. Over here we have a picture of Mark Bolan T-Rex. I just love this picture so much that I got it framed. This is another little blanket I got gifted by OwnKoti, and I'm gonna use this for the baby, so for now it's just sitting here. And then I actually have this little like hamper bin. This is from the 60s, I thrifted it. It stores all of our unused sheets and all of that. But then you can also use this as a stool, which is great because I then put it over here because in there is my vanity, so I can sit down while getting ready, which is really cool, especially while being pregnant. I just have some random pairs of shoes over here. and in the back there, and some purses. I actually kind of framed the mirror with this little setup, so let me give you some close-ups. Over here we just have some of my favorite necklaces on this little golden hook. And then up here I kind of made this little like canopy thing for the mirror with Jimmy Page, some sunglasses, a little treasure box, a crystal, and a tarot card. And then this is definitely another one of my favorite furniture pieces. It's also from the 60s, this gorgeous little like buffet. Let me show you what I have on top here. So these are just like some random things. This is a thermometer. They were really popular in the 60s. A disco ball for some 70s glam. And in the morning when the sun comes in from here and kind of hits that ball, it creates the most beautiful sparkle all around the room. Then up here, this is one of my favorite bags. It's a handmade bag from Hong Kong from the 60s. That's very special to me. And this little picture frame clock thingy, which has a framed picture of Pattie Boyd and her vanity. Another little crocheted mat here, and a necklace. A fern that, just like all of the other plants in my apartment, is missing a pot. These are some of my favorite books. This is a Mick Jagger biography. These are all of the lyrics that Bob Dylan wrote between 1962 and 1985. It's a great book. And then this is a book with all of the lyrics Frank Zappa wrote. And these two books read like poems. To me, not only Bob Dylan, who we all know won a Nobel Prize for literature, is a true poet, but to me personally, people like Frank Zappa, Jim Morrison, like there are so many great musicians who make true art and create poems and are just true literature icons to me. And we have this beautiful painted vase, another old record, this really cute little plant, and this cute little wooden thing where I just keep loose change. So in here are mostly my boyfriend's clothes. They're kind of all stored away because I have that big wardrobe over in the living room. However, I have the middle part and the vanity part. So let me show you the middle part first. This is where I keep all of my jewelry. Back here I have my sunglasses. This is filled with some rings, beautiful little vintage chain belt, another crocheted little layer, and then some earrings back there. These are all bracelets, some more earrings, even more earrings in there. I just love statement earrings, and they were a big trend in the 60s. This gorgeous little bangle. This is the necklace that I pretty much wear every single day. In here I have some more necklaces. I'm sorry it's so dark in here if you can see something. This little hand painted box that also has some loose change. I need to bring this to the bank. Then a little serpent bangle. And then down here we have a Moody Blues record. Both of these purses used to belong to my stepmom's mom. She used them in the 60s. This one was the one that she took to the opera, and I think that's very fancy and really cool. And I love that she gifted them to me. Some bangles over here. This is also lined with the most beautiful fabric. In here I have some more jewelry. Same with this little magical purse, also stores jewelry. This camera is another one from my great-grandfather's collection. Then I have a Super 8 camera in here as well. This I don't really use anymore. I used to smoke, however I stopped when I got pregnant, but I used to carry cigarettes and everything that I would smoke in here, and now I just have it laying here as a relic of long lost days. No, but seriously, I think I will find a new use for this. And then back here we have some flowers and a feather that I found. I can't really tell you why, but something about found feathers is just so magical to me. So this is definitely a special treasure for me. And then the Beatles for Sale, another one of my favorite records. I think we bought this off of Facebook Marketplace, and I believe it was 60 bucks. Not entirely sure, but it's in great condition. And then over here, this is my vanity. First of all, how incredible is it that this has a mirror inside? Honestly, that's just the coolest thing ever. Let's start down here this time. So all the way down here is makeup. Then I have a little hand mirror, This is just the key for this. Some hair ties in here. Some other little random beauty products. These are all of my brushes, some dry shampoo, another little hand mirror. This just has some special treasures, and then up there, I hope you can kind of see, but in this little vase are just some dried flowers. Then up here is a part of my perfume collection, my Love Child beauty palette. I use this a lot, and just some more dried flowers. And this little case that I got while thrifting. They put my earrings in there and I think it is so cute. It's just like a little jewelry case. I like to use this when I travel. But yeah, that's it for my vanity. And then to finish off this room right here, we have another old record. I just love to hang these. A little carpet to hang. I also love this one. It is so soft and like groovy. I don't even know how to explain it, but these were really popular in the 60s and 70s. Down here we have my favorite most used suitcase and this little thingy. I keep all of my sewing supplies in there basically. And these baskets were really popular in the 60s as well. And then I'm not gonna show you what's behind the door, but basically it's like a little room without windows that you can use to store things. But it's so messy in there, I'm just not gonna open this. I think I talked about this before, but I don't like to use the big lights. However, I use very dim light bulbs, so I'm okay with this one, but this is just a velvet dark red lampshade. So now you might be wondering about the bathroom, and as said in the beginning, this apartment is set up a little differently, so let me take you all the way over to our bathroom. Basically, you start in here, through the kitchen we go, and then we leave the apartment, which might seem weird to some people, and walk all the way over to our bathroom. So while we are out in the hallway, let me quickly show you this because we have a giant wardrobe out here. This is part of our rent. It belongs to our landlady, and we just keep shoes and jackets in here. So most of my shoes are stored away in here actually. And then this is the view when you leave our apartment. This is our stroller. We currently have it here. This is just a little thing if someone rings the door. And then this room belongs to our landlady, so this is not part of our apartment. However, this room, the bathroom, is part of our apartment. So I'm honestly not sure if this is considered a big bathroom, a small bathroom. I have no idea. I honestly think it has plenty of space for us. So let me give you a quick tour around. Let's start right behind the door. We added some hooks. And this is a shirt that my boyfriend thrifted. I really much like this. I think it's really cool. However, it has a rib right here, so I need to fix this. That's why it's still in here. And then over here, this is the most spacious thing I've ever seen in my life. So basically, it's one big built-in unit of cupboards. So you can open pretty much all of the parts right here. Something that I also love because it was in my grandparents' house. This thing, like a little magnetic soap thing. These were also popular in the 60s. I think it's really cool. I think this bathroom was remodeled in the 80s, but I'm not entirely sure. But it has a decently sized sink, so that's really good. I added a little bit of decor, but not too much. These are my boyfriend's two favorite perfumes. In here, we just have random things, but I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of these aren't even filled because we don't have that much stuff. This plastic box has such a special history. I pinned a picture of this on Pinterest years ago, and whenever I opened Pinterest, I saw this and I was like, it's the most beautiful thing, but how do I find it? So I tried eBay, I tried everything. And then one day I randomly found this in a thrift store. I couldn't believe my luck. This is a plastic container from the late 60s with tulips. So I personally just like to use this for laundry detergent, but I feel like there is something more that I can do with this. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Over here we just have like my little travel beauty bag. This is currently already packed with some things for giving birth because this is gonna be part of my hospital bag. One thing that I actually really like is that down here we have a laundry hamper. That's actually really handy. This is not really exciting, but we just have our toilet and just some cleaning supplies. And then this is actually pretty exciting because this is our washing machine. I don't know about all countries, but I know that in the US a lot of people don't have their own washer. We have this one. This washing machine was purchased by my dad in 2005. It still works great, so I'm really glad that we still have it. He at some point got a new one and gifted me his old one. I have moved with this a couple of times. So in Germany, usually people just have their own washing machine. Places don't come furnished with it, but a very common concept is that the washer is in the basement. And I get that, it's good, you have a lot of space, you have more space in your apartment, but it also honestly sucks because whenever you need to do a wash, you have to go all the way down, and then usually like the basement is not the best place to dry laundry because it just kind of makes it smelly, I think. And so I'm so glad that this bathroom has all the outlets to just put a washing machine here. On top of the washing machine, we have the little baby washer, so this is gonna be the baby's bath. And then we also got this bath thermometer, which is a little penguin and very cute. This is our drying rack, and then this is our shower. I actually kind of like it. Showers like this were popular in the 70s. Honestly, there's not a lot to say about it. It's just a regular shower, but I kind of like it because it is pretty spacious in there, which I think is really cool, and you don't splash anywhere, and you don't need a gross shower curtain. But I honestly think my bathroom isn't that exciting. It's just a regular classic bathroom. Nothing too pretty or too fancy, but then it's also practical, so I'm not complaining. Same with all of the other rooms. I actually really much like the old-fashioned drapes in here. So unfortunately the outro to this video for some reason got lost, but I want to thank all of you for watching this video and spending time with me today. Thank you for checking out my apartment. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments down below. Please also tell me what would be your favorite hangout spot at my apartment. I would love to hear that. I feel like that's always very interesting. And also, what's your favorite hangout place in your apartment? I would love to know about that too. If you want to share your home with me, you can do so by tagging me on Instagram. I would love to see all of your beautifully decorated homes. If you're interested in more videos all about the 60s and 70s, subscribe to my channel because I upload pretty regularly and I would love for you to hang around. I hope you have a beautiful day. Go out, enjoy the sunshine, take yourself some time to focus on you and your mental health today, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye everybody.